What's up?
Oh, I'm just compiling all the top sports scores, news, and odds so I can make the very best bets.
Me too. BetOnline.ag.
Join today and receive your 50% welcome bonus at betonline.ag.
This is another CLNS Media Patriots Roundtable. I'm your host, Nick Qualia, sitting here with Mike Molyneux and Marv Zahn. All right, guys. So, like I've said countless times now, it's summertime. We've got a month till NFL training camp. I think it's a month. Around now, it's a month from now. So, we have to start making lists. We have to start looking at, we got to start looking back at the Patriots history because that's all we got right now. And I think a very good list to do, and I brought this up today, and I think it generates good conversation. Who are Tom Brady's top 3 receiving threats of all time? So that does not exclude tight ends. That does not exclude running backs. Okay? Who are Tom Brady's top 3 receiving threats of all time in your mind? Marv, we'll start with you.
Honestly, there shouldn't be a debate. I think this is the easiest question you can ask. I have the top 3, and I'll be shocked if anyone has an argument against me. Number 1, Rob Gronkowski. What was it, 10 years with Tom Brady? Yes, I get it. He was hurt for maybe 2 out of the 10
For about
years.
half.
Not half. No, come on. Let's put some respect on his name.
3. That was a little, I'm sorry.
Let's put some respect on Gronk's name. But the greatest red zone threat that Brady's ever had. We saw everything that he can do and we're just talking pass catching in general. If it was down the field, if it was third down, Rob Gronkowski was always there for Brady. I don't even know the touchdown numbers on top of my head. I think it's like 70 something with Rob Gronkowski and Brady connection. They're gonna go down as one of the greatest duos ever in NFL history. So number 1's definitely got to be Rob Gronkowski. Number 2, Randy Moss. Randy Moss has to be on your list. I know it was a short tenure, 3 years, 3.5 years, 50 touchdowns, over 3,000 yards. That's just ridiculous right there.
2007 was enough.
2007, and we're talking about a guy who was 31, 32, 33, killing it with Tom Brady and the Patriots. Randy Moss, there's not much I need to say. You guys remember all the highlights, the one-hand catches, the speed, just the bailouts, whatever you wanted to do on the field, Brady would, with his long hair, would just launch it up in the air, and you knew who was coming down with it. Randy Moss, that's number 2. And then number 3, Julian Edelman, Super Bowl MVP, Mr. Reliable, the Iron Man of this team. He is another guy who's had, some injury problems in the past as well. But when he's on the field, and that's like 80% of the time, he balls out. He took the slot receiver position, and what Wes Welker did with the slot receiver position, he did it and put it on steroids. He's pretty much, he takes the toughest receiver on the field, takes all the hits. He'll do whatever he needs to do to catch the ball. Yards after catches. When you think of that, you think of Julian Edelman, always fighting for yards. Brady's number 1 guy for the past maybe 5 years now. We thought when Amendola was going to come in, Amendola was going to be that guy. And Julian Edelman came out of nowhere, took that role, and surpassed it to the point that he was a Super Bowl MVP. Julian Edelman is number 3. So I got Gronk, Moss, Edelman.
All right, Mike, before we jump over to you guys, let me tell you that today's sponsor, betonline.ag, we've only got baseball season right now, but you know what you can do with that? If you don't like baseball, you want to make it interesting, you can throw some money down on it. And the Red Sox and Yankees are headed to London this weekend to play 2 games. Confident High, willing to place a wager, don't know where to start. There's only one place to get in on all this action. Grab the odds and allow the experts at betonline.ag to do the heavy lifting for you. Sports, live betting, virtual casino, you name it. BetOnline.ag is CLNS Media's preferred sportsbook online. If you're feeling lucky and would like to support our podcast /video, go to clnsmedia.com/PatsRT and use promo code CLNS50 for that 50% sign-up bonus. That's CLNS50. BetOnline.ag, your online sportsbook experts. Go online or use your mobile phone to sign up today at betonline.ag and try in-game live betting where you can participate with all the action with every play. Use the promo code CLNS50 for a 50% sign-up bonus. BetOnline.ag, your online sports book experts. All right, Mike, give us your list.
Marv, that list was beautiful, man. Absolutely,
Thank you, brother.
100% beautiful.
So you got the same list, right?
Close enough, kind of. If I'm gonna talk about receiving options, I think I'm gonna look at just wide receivers right now. Obviously, Gronk in there, absolutely 100%. I agree. I'm just gonna look at wide receivers with my list. I have to 100% agree with Randy Moss. What he was able to bring to the team in a short period of time was just amazing. Everybody, if you know me, how much I love Randy Moss and his time with the Patriots, I'm very upset still to this day that they couldn't work out something even longer. But we are blessed to have Randy Moss when the Patriots did. So I got to go with Randy Moss for sure. Julian Edelman, there was a debate for a while. I think this past season really killed that debate. But Wes Welker or Julian Edelman, people going back and forth. Who would you rather have? Who's a better slot receiver for Brady and the Patriots? I think Edelman has crushed that debate and conversation with what he's been able to bring to the table. I know he's had some injuries over the years, but I think Wes Welker and Julian Edelman's toughness can't be compared. Julian Edelman, I think, has surpassed Wes Welker, like Marv alluded to a lot. So I'm definitely taking Wes Welker. But this third guy, and maybe it's because I'm just a huge fan, and he's probably one of my favorite receivers, Patriots receivers ever, but I'm going Troy Brown. And when I say Troy Brown, I look at the field, Edelman on the slot, obviously, Randy Moss lined up to the far right or left, but on the opposite side of that, Troy Brown was able to do multiple things for the offense. He was a guy that sometimes could go down the field and maybe take the top off the defense, or he could get down and dirty in the slot and pick up yards that way. Troy Brown was just very multi-talented in what he could do for the Patriots offense in the early 2000s. He got the job done. Patriots have had a lot of different receivers come through the years, but one guy that was consistent for Brady in the offense, no matter who was the offensive coordinator or what coaches he had, one guy that was consistent and got the job done and was very reliable for Brady early on in his career, that helped put Brady on the map and lead to where he is now, Troy Brown. Those are the three guys I would list as my top three receiving options for Brady all time. Yes, I didn't include tight ends. Yes, I didn't include any running backs, but just receivers, wide receivers, the wideouts. I'm going with those three: Brown, Edelman, and Moss.
Okay, so I think 1 and 2, and Mike, you didn't have it, but I think 1 and 2, I think it's very interchangeable. In most people you talk to, it would also be the same way. Gronkowski, Randy Moss, you can flip them either way. I personally have Randy Moss at number 1, Gronk at number 2. And Marv, I said it during your list, just base it off 07 alone. Holy crap. Randy Moss, he reinvented himself here. I mean, kind of, it was the same guy, but he rejuvenated his career. It was amazing. 2007, the numbers are insane. 16 games, 98 receptions, 1,493 yards, 15.2 on average, and then 23 touchdowns.
Ridiculous.
23 touchdowns. Oh, it was an insane season. And he's number 1 to me because that was the most explosive offense that this Patriots offense has ever had. And it goes right down to because you had Randy Moss. That's why he's got to be number 1 to me. Number 2, Rob Gronkowski, pure dominance, pure and utter dominance. When this guy was in his prime, when he was healthy, holy crap. He was unstoppable.
Yep.
I mean, we've seen him drag grown men down the field. The one that always comes back to me is the Indianapolis Colts touchdown. I think it was maybe 3 years ago, or maybe it was 4 years ago. He catches it, has 2 guys try to tackle him, breaks upfield. And then by the time he gets to the plane, he jumps, spins around, avoiding more tackles. The guy was just dominant in every single facet of the game. And on top of that, not like it really matters for his receiving end of things, but the guy could block with the best of them. Yeah. Again, you can change out 1 and 2 as much as you want. The number 3, I hear you with the Edelman arguments, but I just think because it was so long ago when you have this conversation and Edelman is in our mind, it's the recency bias. I have a thing for Wes Welker. I love Wes Welker. What this guy did, I mean, just looking back, I didn't even realize this, because you think of the guy towards the end of his career, he got the crap kicked out of him most of his career. You want to talk about durability. Holy crap. 16. He only did not play 16 games out of the 6 seasons he was here twice. And then he played 15 games in 2010, 14 games in 2009. The guy was as durable as they come. And then reception-wise, he only had less than 110 receptions in a season. One time when he had 86 in 2010 when he missed one of the games. Every other season, 118, 122, 123, 111, 112. The guy was just as reliable as it gets for Tom Brady, between being on the field, between making the catches, aside from a couple Super Bowl catches.
Oh boy,
But,
please.
But during his prime, Giselle's taking shots at him on social media afterwards, which is just bananas. Please don't do that. You're just going to upset the locker room. But just when you want to talk about a guy who was just as reliable as they come, as much of an elite threat as they come, I think Wes Welker in his prime, and it pains me to say this, but Wes Welker in his prime, I think I take over Julian Edelman in his prime. Relationship with Tom Brady aside, because I think that helps a lot in the Brady-Julian Edelman discussion. Relationship aside, talent level-wise, I think I'm going prime Wes Welker over Julian Edelman. And then number 4 is Julian Edelman. But number 3, absolutely Wes Welker for me. All right, guys, this was another set of CLNS Media Patriots Roundtables. I'm your host, Nick Walia, with Marv Zahn and Mike Molyneux. Guys, we're going to be back next week. Who the hell knows what we're going to talk about? We'll find something. Nick Walia, Marv Zahn, Mike Molyneux. Guys, again, thank you for watching. We will be back next week.